This is horror
Whoop, whoop.
into a housewife. I repeat,
Ew.
horror into a housewife.
Horror?
Horror into a housewife.
Hibbity hobbity hoo.
This is where we take famous, iconic horror movie characters, presumably villains, but that depends on your perspective, and we switch them into a movie that genre doesn't really represent that. So famously, the first one we used was the girl from The Ring. I believe that is Sadako, into You've Got Mail, the Tom Hanks
Yes.
classic. Yes. Let's say Tom Goodman, combining my two actors.
And also Predator into Heathers as JD Predator.
Nice.
If you don't mind, I would like to start this game out. But before we are, our guest today, Nicholas Misa, does have an inclusion to our horror iconography canon. And we'll get to his when we do. But we're going to start off with me, because I'm the first name on the playbill.
There we go. Take it away, Nicholas. Nicholas.
One of the most influential horror movies of all time. We're going to talk about a little Jaws, with its famous main character, the shark.
Jaws.
Also known as Bruce, a lot of people call him. I thought it was Jaws. I looked it up. Apparently it's Bruce. Okay, that's not as scary. I like Jaws better, but we'll go with it. And we're going to switch him over into Free Willy, a family favorite. A classic, some may say, a real tearjerker that becomes an action series, much like all great movies in the sequels, like Jarhead.
Yep.
So this is basically going to cut a lot of the runtime out of this movie. Because while killer whales are not defenseless, like they are angry critters, I think if we're going to use the super aggro Bruce, who is a great white shark, but is actually based off of a tiger shark, a much more aggressive species. I think they're going to we got one, and then Jaws is going to wriggle out and just start eating fools. And then the main character, little boy, I looked up his name, forgot it already. But he's going to be like,
fair.
Willie! And then Bruce is going to go, and do like a cartoonish turn into the camera and give him a little wink before he starts swimming away.
Aww.
So it's a lot shorter of a movie, because Free Willy, I think, was kind of pushing it. There's only so much whale I can watch. They're kind of not the most exciting animals. But you're telling me 23 minutes of shark? Fuck yeah. Sign me up for that Shark Night.
You know, with the shark winking at the end, isn't that the ending to Freddy vs. Jason? Where Freddy winks at the camera?
Is.
It absolutely is. We can do Freddy versus Jason versus Jaws, which would be an extremely fun movie.
I like to imagine when he winks, he does the shark sideways blink. Blink. And then he swims away.
Fun fact,
to find
shark
Freddy and
buttholes
Jason.
are also sideways.
What?
Yeah, they go whoop whoop, which is a sideways gesture. Audio only podcast, you guys didn't see that. But it's basically like a coin slot in a piggy bank.
Oh my god.
I would definitely watch this movie, but it is a short film, and I typically don't pay full admission for short films, but I will for this one.
That is a glowing approval, praise, one would say, and I'm really grateful.
I'll wait till it's on YouTube.
Oh no. Fuck off, Greg. Would you like to take the next ideation of our creation?
Yes, I would. So, I'm gonna hold off on revealing my horror for a bit, and I'm gonna talk a little bit about the film he's going into, Nymphomaniac. So, Nymphomaniac is... I don't know if you guys have seen the first Nymphomaniac. I thought it was very good. I thought it was a very interesting depiction of sexuality and the different kinds, and really growing as a person as you experience these things. And I mean, yeah, they get into some really dark stuff. She does rape a guy on the train. Sexual assault warning. I really enjoyed the first one, especially the sequence when it goes all black and white because her dad's dying and she's like depressed. So she fucks to not be sad. It's a really interesting film, the first one. The second one, which is where I'm going to be inserting my my horror, not as interesting to me. And of course, spoilers for Nymphomaniac Volume 1 and 2, but in the second one, they explore the other, values of sexuality, which include, again, spoilers, incest, and, what's the other? Pedophilia. Right. So I thought, you know what? We need to pump this baby up. We need to make it less of a gangster film because it has a really weird turn into like a gangster film when it goes into the incest. I don't know if you've seen it, Nick,
No.
or Nick, but
No.
I think if we change it up just a bit and we have her find a little toy box, a puzzle box, where she can enter a dimension of pleasure via our horror, Pinhead, I think he might meet his match. I think we might change the final Nymphomaniac from a weird, like, gangster pedophile incest movie into a movie about actual love and sex. Because when Pinhead meets this hoe, trust me, there's sparks are gonna fly. She's already into masochism in the first one. It gets really bloody and kind of gruesome, hard to watch. But boy, once she meets her mans and he starts ripping her apart left and right, limb from limb, and he sees her asking for more, I think they're gonna have some sparks flying. We're gonna have a real rom-com on our hands, and Nymphomaniac Volume 2 will go down in history as one of the best rom-coms following a meditative introspection of sexuality to have ever existed.
One question. You're leaving Volume 1 untouched, correct?
Yes, I just need it for background so you know. I really like Volume 1. Yes. Volume 2 is the one that's completely changed by the appearance of Pinhead. And gets pretty kooky.
Well, that's
how do you guys feel about that?
That's pretty ballsy to include a horror icon in the second installment of your movie.
Oh, yeah.
The movies that get less views, the direct sequels. Huh.
That's why it's going to be like a hidden gem. No one's going to see it coming.
When I make movies, I think I want this to be a hidden gem.
Exactly. Well, you don't want people to know that it's bad, like the actual sequel.
Okay.
No offense if you guys love the sequel. I just thought it took a really weird turn, and I think Pinhead can make the turn so weird it goes 360 into being great.
Yeah, I've seen Nymphomaniac, both Volume 1 and Volume 2, and I 100% agree with that analysis.
Oh, thank you.
Volume 2 is weird. Volume 1 is just so good, and it's just such a well-paced, exciting, funny, dark movie. And then Volume 2 is kind of like, oh, okay, this is odd. Like, it involves a lot of, like, crime stuff, and, like you said, it turns into a gangster movie.
Yeah.
And it's not as exciting and as fast-paced as the first volume. So, I do think that Pinhead, of all people, could make it a better movie.
Absolutely. Thank you, Nick.
Yeah, of course.
Nick, you haven't seen either, have you?
I have not seen either. I've seen a good amount of
You gotta see the first
stuff,
one.
But these ones, the Nymphomania ones have eluded me.
Dude, you gotta see the first one. It's great. And you gotta see the second one, just because.
Yeah. Hey, you get to see Shia LaBeouf's cock.
Yeah.
Okay, you've got my attention.
What is it? 3 in the pussy, 5 in the ass? I'm sorry, virgin listeners. Cover your ears. That probably have headphones on.
You just amplified the volume, Greg.
Yeah, exactly.
We're gonna be run out of our studio.
Oh my god. So that was mine. I heard Nick's. And Nick. Miza. Mm-hmm. What do you got for us today?
Before we go, we established that we were going to call each other different things to make that not confusing. And as soon as we started, all of that went out the window.
Flew out the window.
Thanks to Mr. Baloney's Greg.
That's what they call me, Chaos Walking.
Sorry for the interruption. Take it away, Mr. Mesa.
All right, so when it comes to the horror part, I knew who I wanted right away. Like, there was no question. This is the person I wanted to put into a different movie. As for the movie, I found myself split between two options, but now I'm just settling on one. Jack Torrance, The Shining, very iconic horror movie character. Jack Torrance, as in Jack Nicholson. I just want to make that clear because it's important.
Oh yes.
Oh yes, not
the TV version.
No. Yeah, not the not the TV, not the Stephen King book. Jack Torrance, Jack Nicholson, Jack Torrance. Not the not the mannequin they got for Dr. Sleep. I don't know if you guys saw that movie.
I have not yet. I've heard conflicting
Oh.
reports.
Not that asshole. But Jack Nicholson, Jack Torrance, and I am going to put him in the movie, the hit 1999 classic comedy Office Space.
Ooh, I like that already.
I'm gonna replace Ron Livingston altogether. He's not in the movie anymore. So there's no Ron Livingston. It is now just Jack Nicholson, Jack Torrance, and he's still a writer. He still has Wendy and Danny. But there's a problem. His books are not making him any money. He's not making any money as a writer. So now he has to get an actual job to support his family. So he decides to work at what's the company called in Office Space?
Fact check.
Initech or something like that, where they prepare like data reports or something like that.
Oh, you were right. Initech.
Initech.
Thank you, fact
there you
checker.
go. Yeah. So now he works full time at Initech. He has a 9 to 5, Monday through Friday, and he works at Initech, and he hates his job. Absolutely hates his job. Hates everyone he works with. It's driving him absolutely insane. To cope, when he's not working, he drinks a little bit. You know, has a little bit of a drink. Yeah, he has a little bit of a drinking problem.
Fingers.
And when he drinks, you know, he gets a little nutty. You know, gets a little hostile.
To put it mildly.
So the movie. Here's the thing about this movie. It's still a comedy. All the comedic bits are still in there. The boss, you know, like all the side characters, the guy who's obsessed with a stapler, the mumbling guy. Yeah.
From Space Jam.
They're all still in the movie, except they all have to contend with Jack. And Jack is, he's a boiling pot. And, near the end of the movie, he gets an idea to rob the place. But what ends up happening is he thinks he's hatching a plan to rob the place, but he's actually imagining it in his head the entire time. It's very creepy. Yeah.
Oh, strong move.
That's the movie.
Oh, there's no payoff. It's just
There's no payoff.
Oh, you guys want the third act?
I mean, if you want to give it to us.
It seemed like you were going to tell us the fact, and then you...
I kind of like being blue-balled in this case. It feels more poignant.
I feel like I built this up so much that anything that I say will just be a letdown because of how great this build-up was.
Then I think we're fine with leaving the third act out.
Is it a fax machine that they beat up?
Is
it a fax machine or a printer?
It's I believe it's a fax machine that they beat up in the real movie.
I hope he comes in with an axe and he just
chops the fax machine up.
Yeah.
Destroy. Yes. And they're all like, "Whoa!" But they still join in anyways because they're friends.
Yeah, they're best buds. But like I said, he imagines all this, so that's the twist.
Oh, that's beautiful.
So that's my movie. Would you guys go see it?
I would definitely.
I would see that in theaters. And I wouldn't even complain about the ending. I'd be like, you know what? Something brilliant is here. And maybe I don't understand it the first viewing, so I'm going to have to see it again.
Well,
Oh man, you're making box office bank.
yeah, the ending is he dies in the end.
Shit.
Well, maybe I don't want to watch it.
Nick is clocking out.
I don't like when people die in my movies.
Yeah. Well, I was gonna have it either he dies or he just becomes a construction worker, and then everything just works out. So.
Then it
you know, I kinda
very slowly transitions to Good Will Hunting.
Get the alternate ending in the special features. Love those.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, you can do both.
Yeah.
And studios won't be mad at you.
There you
do
go.
A commentary like a Fincher when he's complaining about in Gone Girl. What's his name? Ben
Affleck.
Ben Affleck not wanting to wear the other sport team hat. And he just keeps bringing it up.
Track. He just dunks on Affleck the entire time. It's
constant.
Not professional, very funny.
Mm-hmm.
I would, you know what? I think your movie has even more watchability because then they could screen like with director's commentary, and it's just like, oh shit, it's like a whole new experience.
Yep.
Oh man, great addition. Thank you, Mr. Miza.
That is very,
happy,
very
Nick?
good round. I'm so happy right now.